All right. Hello, hope everyone's doing well. Today, we are going to be building the Lego Medieval Seaside Market. Sorry, not the Seaside Market. We've already done that one. The 3-in-1. 3-in-1 castle. Let's get this updated. Three-in-one. Get started here in just a minute. Okay. All right. Yeah. Take a look at this one. Okay. All right, just getting everything started up here. Give me just a minute to get started. Thought I had it all, but things are going a little weird on me. Okay, here we go. All right, I'll be making the 3-in-1 castle today. If you're on the horizontal stream, then you can see the instructions. Otherwise, you can't. You just have to try to follow along the best you can. Where's my... chat? Okay, here we go. Pretty sure I got all the sound right. I recently switched streaming software, so I hope it's all good. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. All right. So first things first, you've got to get kind of this rounded plate here. Go about right around there, I think. Maybe a little further over. I think this angle for the camera is pretty good, so we'll go ahead and leave that there. Double check the focus. I moved the camera around a bit since I've last shot anything, so double check our focus here. Looks pretty good. Okay. All right, so for this first animation, I want this kind of half moon piece to come into frame some way. I'm trying to think how that might be. What would be a cool way to do that? I think maybe like spinning in this way, or maybe from this corner. Let's try that and just see what that looks like. Okay. Just kind of rotate this as we go. I mostly do these freehand. Sometimes I'll draw in lines to follow, but for this one, I'm not really that concerned about it. Just move it a little bit each time. That's moving really fast. I guess that's okay. Start to slow it down a little bit. First few frames can go pretty quick. I want this to end about right here. So I'm just gonna have it like spin around until we hit the angle we want in place. I think that'll look pretty cool. Just give it like maybe 2 full rotations. Actually, we're almost where we need to be. So I'm gonna actually start slowing it down a bit. That looks okay. Just keep going on this here. Almost done. Gonna slow it down just a bit here. Gonna ease into that final spot. One little more push. There we go. All right. Oh, that looks smooth. I love that. Okay. So next thing I want to do before I start building on top of that is add a little bit of sticky tack to the bottom. That'll keep it from moving around. And we want to do that as part of the animation, because if it moves a little bit, that's okay. It was already moving. So we don't have to get it perfectly in place. You can see the sticky tack I've got on there. I might put one more piece just because. There we go, 3 pieces of sticky tack. Now we'll try to line that up as best we can. Again, perfection is not completely necessary, although I did get it pretty close. Let's see how that looks. I'll take a picture there. All right. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. I love that. Okay, so this little animation's in 24 frames a second, and that kind of gives the animation, you know, a little bit smoother of a feel than if we did it in a lower frame count. But what I do for the build sections where we're adding pieces is I create new scenes. Hey, hello there, Lego Tours. I create new scene at 8 frames a second, just for adding the pieces in. So each, and then I'll convert that to 24. So each piece stays on for 3 frames. So, all right. I'd have to go back on my Amazon list and look, but these, I've got 2 of these. These came in a set, and then this light up here, I got separately, but I should definitely put together a post or something with the equipment I have. So, okay. Just gonna start building on here. Again, if you're on the vertical stream, you can't see the instructions, but if you're on the like the wide format, you can. Okay. So we actually have, on step 4, we have another piece coming in, like a panel piece. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and add that first. And that actually might make sense to slide in this way instead of just popping into place, because that's kind of a big piece. So I'm gonna convert this scene. I was gonna do a build scene, but I think I'm gonna make this actually another animation scene. And then we'll pop this into place. So we've got that first thing, the first frame, and then I'm just gonna start sliding this piece into frame. Yeah, I got the lights, the 2 big ones on the side from Amazon in a 2-pack. There's like less than $100 US. So, and I've used them for a long time. They've been really good. And then the bottom light, or the top light that I have, this guy up here was about the same price just for that one. And I like it. It adds, you know, it kind of gets rid of some of the shadows of the pieces so that everything looks good. And it makes it a little easier to edit when I don't have a lot of shadows to edit around, especially if there's a lot of movement going on. Okay, so we're almost into place here. I hope this looks okay. It's kind of coming in at an angle. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks all right. Kind of makes a turn there. Okay, we're almost in place. Probably 2 more frames here. There we go. That's pretty good. So that slides right into place. Awesome. And we'll go ahead and tack that down as well. Just take that piece away, throw some sticky tack on it. Since this is Lego, we know exactly where it goes because our other piece did not move. So we should be able to get that about right there. Great. That looks great too. Okay, so I think I like that scene. I'm gonna go ahead and now we'll start building now. So I'm gonna create an 8-frame scene. And here we go. So I'm just gonna start adding in the pieces. And we'll see them kind of start to pop in. So the kind of what you're seeing over here is like, the piece looks like a ghost that I just put in because I haven't taken a picture. That's called an onion skin. And that allows me to see the frame before and what the next frame will look like once I take a picture. So just so I can make sure I'm keeping everything kind of in place. Because what will happen sometimes is like these assemblies and things will move. So like if that falls, I know I need to fix that. So I'll come back here, put that in, then we can just put our next piece in. There we go. Okay. So I built this set once before when I first started. And it was a lot of fun, but I never actually released the video because I don't think it turned out that good. This is when I first started, so it was pretty terrible. So I'm redoing it because there's a new Lego set, a new 3-in-1 castle coming out. And I thought it'd be really fun to kind of compare those two. Whoa. Okay, that piece just flew completely across my room. I've got to go retrieve that. All right, I'm gonna set that piece. I'll be right back. Let me go grab that piece that flew. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. It like flew under a shelf I have and came out the other side. All right, here we go. Awesome. Then we get to make this cute little mushroom guy here. Right here, kind of catty corner to that slope. Yeah, I think this set is, a lot of people love it because if you have multiple of them, it makes a pretty great, mock. Like you can make a lot of cool things with it. All right, so this next piece is kind of funky. It's like what if it goes right there in that corner? Looks like we've got 4 studs. Yeah, it'll just go right there. Perfect. There should be another 2x2 here. It's going to be attached kind of at an angle, which is going to be weird. So I'm going to actually tack that down because I don't want that to move from where it was until it absolutely needs to. And then we can show what that looks like. So a lot of what I do is just kind of like planning ahead for certain things. So I'll look pretty far forward into the instructions to figure out what's going on. I know that a lot of people who've done these type of builds, they do them backwards because they like to build the set and then kind of know what each shot should look like. And I don't do that. I build it forward, so I'm a little different in that way. And I do that because I like to review the sets afterwards or display them. and I don't want to have to rebuild it. Okay, so we get to build another little mushroom guy here. He's gonna sit, that's kind of strange. Yeah, right there in the end. So throw that there. And that red piece we just put on is actually the only one in the entire set, which is pretty cool. All right, so now we've got another plate, and that's gonna sit right there. And this piece here is gonna sit right on that those four corners. Let's take a look at how that's looking. Looks pretty good so far. You can see a little tiny bit of movement in that plate, that tan plate, but not a whole lot. I think it's okay. All right, so we actually have this other blue plate that's gonna sit right here. And I put that on first because there's gonna be some pieces overlapping it, and I don't want to have to like take pieces off, and it's just sometimes kind of jarring to do that in the video, so I try to avoid it. Just kind of cascading slopes here. Oop. There we go. All right, let's see what that looks like. All right, so now we've got kind of like a long plate is going to be coming off of this. I'm going to put some sticky tack on that because it kind of sits out far and I don't want it to slide forward and backwards. All right. There we go. Awesome. And now got kind of this 2x3 brick here. It's going to be 3 studs back. So right there. And these 2 little gray dots here. 1 and 2. And another green slope. It's going to line up with this gray brick there. Okay. So, okay, that's interesting. That's okay, we can do that. So now we've got to kind of move back where this hinge is and put some pieces in and then come back around here. We're like building a wall up over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. This is gonna sit here. I think you can see that okay. Yeah. And a dark gray brick right there. See, if I hadn't stuck that piece down, that would have slid all over the place. We'd be fighting that the whole way. Okay, so that looks like it just kind of hangs off the edge there. That there's like a gray slope. Find that. There you are. It's gonna go right there. Okay, then we come around with a corner piece there. Two by two brick here. Fill that in with a 1x1 brick. And now we just have a 1x2 and then a masonry brick. 1x2s here. Masonry brick facing outward, like so. All right, let's take a look how that looks so far. Looks pretty good. All right. Just gonna continue on here. Got that piece, then a 3x3 brick stacked on top of the other one. Now we've got this other long plate here. I hope that's okay. It's gonna stay in focus. I'm gonna check that real quick. I think it will. We'll check the bottom corner here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. You can still read the Lego printing on the studs, so I think we're okay. And we'll put some tack on that piece. Don't want it to move around on us. There we go. Just applying some even pressure there. All right, now we've got this. Let's see what that looks like so far. Oh, that's cool. That looks excellent. Just continuing on here. I'm pretty excited for the new 3-in-1 castle that's coming out. I think it's gonna be really fun to build. I think there's kind of mixed feelings on it, but I will definitely be picking it up. I've never seen brick-built horses before, so that'll be interesting. They'll be a little more articulating than the molded horses, but still unsure how I feel about those. Well, it's kind of angled funky. Okay, there we go. All right. Next brick there. Dark green ramp. Cheese wedge here. All right. Okay, so coming up, we have some more plates. I think we'll be okay. We're gonna get kind of way down here in this corner. So this is one of the things that you kind of run into building these forward instead of backwards. We're gonna get real close to the edge here, and it's not quite centered, but I think that's okay. Oh, hi, Wiggy. Yeah, thanks. I've been doing these stop motion builds for almost going on 2 years now. So they're a lot of fun to do, and I think people enjoy them, and I enjoy making them. So just gonna keep going with it. All right. So we have, I'm gonna go ahead and put this 2x4 brick in first. And then we'll come in with these blue plates to kind of round things off here. I don't need a whole lot of tack on that. Just one piece will probably be fine. And my plan is to put this build and my original version of this build side by side in some points. I think that would be interesting to see, like, just as a direct comparison of how I used to be and how these are now. So here we go. Excellent. Now we can gonna go ahead and put this next brick on here. And slap this guy on there. Then we've got this little clasping piece here. It's gonna go right there. All right. Let's see how that looks. I'm digging it. It looks good. Okay. So now we got a couple little gray pieces. I call these dots. I don't know what else to call them, but that's what they are to me. So some other sets I'm looking forward to building are the one-piece sets. Those are coming out in a couple of weeks. And I'm super excited for the Going Merry. I think that's going to be a really great set to kind of showcase. And there's a couple other ones too I want to do. Where is that piece? I don't know. We'll have to get into our spare pieces bag. I can't find it. Hey, roaming Lego. Hello to you. Okay. So when I was going back to rebuild this, I went through all the pieces and sorted them and reorganized them, and I had some extras that I guess I skipped over. And so I just put those in a separate bag. So when I came across them, I could just grab them. Okay. Well, I think I saw some movement there. Hey, thanks. Yeah, it took me quite a while to figure out like how I wanted to set this up, but a lot of people do like an overhead view, but I think you get that with the animation window. And then I want to kind of show my setup too. So that's what I came up with. Yeah, there's a little bit of movement. You can see how they're those pieces kind of spread out, but I think that's because I had them too close. And actually, when you put bricks together, the pieces are not perfectly touching. There's always a little bit of space. So I think that is expected. Okay. Where are we at? We've got now a 2x4 brick to put in, which somehow missing. Is that yep, 2x4 brick. Okay, well, that's fun. That's definitely missing. Ah, it's in my extras bag. Look at that. I saved myself. Good planning. There we go. Got it. Okay. All right, so this is actually going to be perfect. We're going to be building this drawbridge assembly, and we're getting awful close to like being way out of center. So what we can do is kind of move. I'm trying to think. So we have a couple of options. We could do like a camera slide and build it over here. I could point the camera up and build it here and have it slide in. Or I could just take this out completely and just like have this slide off into oblivion. That could be an option too. But I don't really want to mess with where it's at. I think the lighting is really good on that. So I think what I might do, all right, I'm gonna make an animation scene. So you kind of see the window disappear and come back just a second. There it is. All right. So I think what we can do, I've used this effect before, is I can just kind of loosen up my camera a little bit here, and I can kind of slide this over. So that'll be out of the way. That'll give us plenty of room to build. the drawbridge and slide it into place. So I'm just gonna move this ever so slightly. We'll ease into the movement. And then a little bit more. And this will give it like a kind of like a whipping effect. It'll be cool. I've used this quite a bit. Yeah, this tripod I have is incredible. I used to just have like a cheap, like $20 tripod from Walmart actually. And it worked for a long time, but it couldn't do any of this cool like twisting, and the camera was always moving on me, so I had to invest in something a little better. Let's see how that looks so far. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll start slowing that down. We'll keep that in frame just to give some more visual interest. Okay. Just ever so slightly. Now I'll lock this into place. We'll take one more picture. Kind of jerked there at the end. Oh, didn't like that. Let me try to line this up a little better. Yeah, because it kind of slides when you lock it into place. There we go. All right. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then I'm gonna have, we have this like brown plate that needs to come in. So I have a couple of ways to do that. I always like to do this thing where the piece kind of falls into place here. I think that always looks cool. We have plenty of room to do it. And let me start a new scene for this because it'll be easier for me to clean it up in post. So we'll disappear and come back. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I have this little thing that I use all the time called a helping hands. Let me show what that looks like. It's actually for like soldering and stuff. And I've got a clip. This thing was like $5 on Amazon, but it has this little clear piece. And so what I'm able to do is I can put some tack on the base of this so it doesn't move. I can attach this plate to that like so, and then I can move it down like it's falling, which is gonna be cool. So our end result, I want it to actually back up a little bit because I want it to land kind of on that corner instead. So that's what our last frame will look like on the fall. And I want it to be forward a little bit so it can fall backwards into place. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick that to the table. And we'll raise this up. Okay. Then I can actually, I'll be able to erase all the shadow and everything this is creating from the shot. Slide that down. So I'm actually gonna have that hit. Hey JLo, thanks. I'm not sure good luck for what, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of start setting this kind of backwards. So I need a little bit more tack here. Where'd my tack go? I'll steal some from here. Don't need a whole lot. Okay. This is gonna like stick on there, allegedly. It's way out of place, so I gotta kind of that back. About right there. Hi, Dot. I'm doing well. How are you doing? I kind of twist that this way as it's falling. Okay. I'm going to get this arm completely out of the way here. And then I think I can just start laying this down. So it's kind of falling that way, so I need to raise this side up. So I just have like a bunch of tack on there like that. And that's gonna make that happen. And then I kind of want it to fall like that. I'm trying to make it fall and like get into place at the same time. This stop motion is just going to be a build of a castle set. So I build the sets in like stop motion style and just put some voiceover on it, you know, like little fun facts about the set or what my thoughts are on it. The software I use is called Dragon Frame. It's a professional stop motion software. I used for a long time on my phone something called Stop Motion Studio, which worked really well. But I kind of like the flow of this a little bit better. It works for me. Okay. So I'm gonna raise kind of this corner up to make it look like it's kind of moving. That looks okay. All right. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so yeah, in post I can actually go through each frame. I can delete all the shadow and I can delete the arm, so you won't see any of that. But I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now we just need it to fall into place here. And then we can tack it down. Might slide a little bit that way. Just a hair. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm just gonna get a couple pieces of tack. Put just a little bit on each corner so this isn't sliding around on us. Actually, I set that pretty close. All right. There we go. Kind of smush this down. And that is pretty darn close. That looks really good to me. I can clean that up quite a bit. Okay, so now that we have that little animation done, that fall, I'm gonna do just start building. So this is going to be the drawbridge of the castle. Go ahead and grab our first frame. And then we can start building on. So, get these little rounded guys. I'm going to start in the back corner, I think, and just go around clockwise. So, let me just set this piece next. And just an identical one of those. One of these here. Another one of those. Just keep working our way around here. All right. Thanks a lot, Dot. I really appreciate it. And thanks for stopping in the stream. All right, take a look. That's looking pretty good. All right, now we have these brown plates, or tiles rather, will sit on there. So I'll just do that one. And the other one. All right, so next we've got these Technic pins we've got to put in. I'll just start in one spot and then we'll work around. So start down here, go around clockwise. And in the next step, there are a couple of these guys. So I'm just gonna slap that on there so we don't have to come back to it. Slap it on there. All right. Then we can do our next part. We're almost ready for another animation. So there wasn't a whole lot of pieces to place here. Oh, we need to put that modified Technic brick in. Might have grabbed the wrong kind. Okay, yeah, I have some extras of those. Let me grab my... Okay, I must have put those in the wrong place because I don't see another one. That would be probably this baggie. Let's take a look here. See, this is what happens when you sort your own Lego. You don't pay attention. Where are you? Where are you? Maybe in here somewhere. Could have thrown it. In a different bag. Let's see. No, it's definitely not in there. This bag. That kind of stinks. I'm gonna have to spend forever trying to find this piece that I put in the wrong bag. Yeah, I sorted through all these yesterday, trying to get this ready for today, and I guess I grabbed one piece. Maybe I'm just overlooking it. Let me dig through here. I know I had it. Okay, well, what the hey? It should I'm gonna dump this out. See if I can find it. A little quicker that way. Digging through. I need another one of these bricks, like the modified 1x1s with the technical. Okay, I don't think it's in that bag. Try a different bag here. Just work our way through till we find it. Where are you? I know I had this piece. There's more than one in here. I just sorted this. Okay, well. Oh, what? You know what? It was... There it is. It was in there the whole time. My bad. Oh, man. I feel like a dummy. That's okay. Now we can move on. It's all good. Right, sorry about that, and thanks for sticking around, whoever did, because that was awful. All right, so now we got that built. We need to move this drawbridge into place, so it's going to sit right on top of this area here. So I'm going to have this slide, and at the same time, I'm going to move the camera. So I'm going to make a new animation scene. All right. So this is be a little more complicated because we're going to have two things moving at once. But essentially, what I'm going to do is just start sliding this forward and also moving the camera, panning it over at the same time. So just move one thing, just move the other thing one at a time so we don't get kind of confused. There we go. Okay, so now that we've got our eased frames on this, I can take the tack off. That. And I can start sliding this kind of freely. So it's going to move up a little bit. Can pan a little bit more. Then we just slide and pan, slide and pan. That looks pretty good so far. And we'll get almost there. Pan a little bit more. I think a little bit more than that even. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay. And now I'm just gonna jump up here. I'm gonna start slowing down the pan a little bit because we're almost centered. And this can move forward some more. About right there. Slow that down a bit. Looks pretty good. I think that's gonna set right on top of those green slopes. So we're almost there. Go a little slower on the pan. There we go. And then I think I'm done moving the camera, so I'm gonna lock it in place here. Okay, that's locked down. And then we're just gonna move that a little bit. Jump this up and not put the studs in, or don't lock it in yet. Now we can lock it in. There we go. That's what that looks like. So we kind of did a slide and a pan, and that came together pretty well. All right, so there's gonna be another big movement here. We're actually gonna rotate this entire assembly to clockwise. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that also as part of this. And so I'm just gonna start rotating. Actually, I might have to take this off first. And just stick that right back in there. Get in there. There you go. Okay. So I think, yeah, a little bit more. Okay, and there's just a ton of sticky tack on this, so we gotta take this whole assembly up and start taking this off so we can slide it. Yeah, when I used to do these, I tried masking tape for a long time and it worked okay, but it wasn't as secure as sticky tack. And then after the masking tape, I tried the blue sticky tack and that stuff was okay, but it almost held on too tight and I couldn't remove it. So I would spend so much time trying to take it off. And it was just such a pain to work with. And someone recommended the gray sticky tack, so I grabbed some of that and it works flawlessly. I love it. Okay, I'm just gonna get everything back in place here. That's right there. Okay, where were we? Okay, here we go. So got that kind of back where it was, kind of. That was kind of there. Now I can start like kind of freely rotating this. There we go. There, that's looking pretty good. This is kind of do a rocking motion and a turning. It's not like a straight spin. I'm kind of moving it forward a little bit so I can get it recentered. A little bit further. There we go. Okay. And I think I'm almost in place where I want to be, so I'm going to start easing the motion down. There we go. That looks pretty good. One small movement. Excuse me. Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. Now we got to put some tack back on there. Hopefully this whole thing doesn't fall apart on me again. So I'm gonna stick that piece there. I don't need nearly as much now that we have it assembled. Okay, that'll work. is definitely not where it should be. Okay. Yeah. So right now I've got it a little bit off. You can kind of see the blurriness of it, I hope. But once I press it down, everything should go right into place, I think. Almost. Let's see. I'm going to take a capture and just see where it moves to. So it's moving that direction. So I think I'm going to slide it this way just a bit. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'll keep that as it is. I also need to tack down this little moving piece here. Otherwise, try to add anything to it, it's gonna go crazy on us. Take this whole thing up again. Just a little tiny bit there. And then place it down. Whoop. Cool. And that looks okay. That kind of keeps the momentum. I might actually make that a little bit smoother, actually. Make that intentional. And add a couple frames to it moving. There we go. That looks cool. All right. It's fun. Okay, now we're going to start building up this wall over here on the right side. And then, interesting. What I might do here is, since we're just going to be building on the right side of this, I might move the camera around a bit. And center this right-hand side. Hey, Star Wars stop motion. Yeah, I always do stop motion builds. That's like my entire channel. So everything I've done, stop motion builds. I try to put some personality into them when I have minifigures and such, to make it a little more interesting than just straight building. But yeah, that's what I do. Okay, so for this next scene, this will be a building scene, but I can move the camera since our movement's done, and we're gonna kind of keep the same angle. So let me move this around a bit. So I want to center it up on this side because that's where we're going to be building next. And I want to zoom in a bit. So I'm going to move the camera closer because this lens does not have a zoom on it. So which means I've got to drop this way down. I want to angle this up just a little bit. There we go. Now we're nice and centered on the section we're going to be building. And I can do this zoom in on this tool. You see how blurry it is there? Now I can fix the focus on it. Since we moved the camera, we got to check the focus. All right, that looks pretty good. Go ahead and take a shot of that, and then we can start building. So I do the building at 8 frames a second, animations at 24. That just helps make the animations a little smoother, and then you can kind of see, kind of slows down the building, which I think is important. So you can kind of see what's going on. It's not too jarring. All right, we'll just start working our way around here. I do have some Star Wars sets I need to build. I have some of the MIDI scale starships. just sitting under my desk, collecting dust. I guess been interested in other stuff and haven't been able to get to that. So that's gonna go there, I think. Okay. We got 1x1 brick, followed by a masonry brick. Another 1x1 brick. And that guy there. All right, so we can take a look at how that is so far. That's pretty smooth. Okay, so next we're gonna hop across those slopes. We are going to build a different section of the wall. I'm remembering now, because this is the second time I've actually built this set, that does jump around quite a bit. That's okay. Okay. These like the shorter ones here. It's gonna go right on the corner. I like this castle a lot, and the side builds are pretty good too. I don't know if I'll do the side builds. It's just a lot of time sorting through pieces to get there, but we'll see. All right, so next it looks like we're doing like the next layer. So I'm gonna start over here. That's interesting. Okay, so that's gonna start right there. Then this guy here. Yeah, recently changed some stuff around in my setup, so I hope the sound is okay. I haven't seen any complaints, but people are usually pretty quiet. So I have to assume it's okay. All right, then we've got, I call these barrels. I don't know what else to call them. Rounded 1x1 bricks, maybe. I guess that could be it. Okay. Wait. I missed a barrel there. It's all right. Put it in now. Yes, I've been doing these videos for about 2 years, and I've tried to build Lego sets not doing it this way, and it feels weird. It's very, I almost have to do it this way now. So I'm kind of stuck, but that's good because I like the whole editing process as well. So for me, it's not just about building the Lego, but the video creation process as well. All right, that guy's gonna go there. And a 1x1 brick right there. Okay, that's kind of strange, but all right. So this piece is gonna fit in right there. got this inverted slope, I believe. Nope, that's already there, as is that piece. So we just have this large wall piece next. Oh, I see I missed something, actually. So what I'm gonna do, I missed a lot of something. Let me go back here. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I missed a lot. I had to redo this whole section. That stinks, because I got here, and then I missed the step after that. So let me drag all this out. Man, that was a big flub. Okay. Still need to keep going. There we go. Okay, now we're back to this step. Okay, so, all right, I see what I missed here. Should be first these barrels here. There we go. Then we've got a couple of these angled bricks rather. I missed a whole layer over here on this side. That's okay, it won't take long to get caught up. All right, so I'm gonna keep going kind of around because now it says this guy, that, and then one more of those. Okay, and now get back to where we were here. It's gonna go there. You can go there. Yeah, unfortunately, I do need to leave soon. But probably got like a little while longer, but probably start winding down, wrapping up this section here shortly. All right. Okay, this is like an older set, so the instructions are a little funky too. That's my excuse. All right, so we actually have, I'm gonna put this on first. Then we can put that brick on. This little hinge brick. Inverted slope. And this guy. We're almost caught back up already. All right, yep. So we should be able to just throw that on there. Another barrel right there. We have one of those. review what we got here in just a minute so far on this section. All right, let's see where we're at here. Yeah, you can see that like a big jump when I had to redo everything because the pieces moved on me. All right. Okay. So next it's kind of building up the front. Let me see if there's any reason for that. No, we don't need to move that yet. All right, I'm gonna do these couple steps here. So we've got this guy's gonna go here. Masonry brick. Yeah, one of the criticisms of the upcoming 3-in-1 castle is the complete lack of masonry bricks, which I think is a valid criticism. It's a castle. It should have some of that texture in there, honestly. But I am still looking forward to it. All right, where's, oh, there it is. All right, then we've got this guy in the corner. This guy here. That is going to go there. Okay, then we got some plates we can put on. Got this large guy here. So this will kind of line everything up and get it a little more sturdy. I remember this being kind of a pain before. Get on there. There we go. It wasn't too bad. Got you there. And this final piece here. All right, let's take a look at that. All right, that's decent. All right, next we'll be building the tree over here. So, a lot of movement going on. Okay, well, all right, well, thanks for everybody that joined today. I've actually got to call it a day. It's kind of a shorter stream. I wish I could go on a little longer, but fortunately, I have a day job I have to get to. So, thanks for everybody who joined today, and thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it.